Hi guys, start of another week. What I thought I'd go through today is some activation for your glutes. If any of you have been down to see the physio or down to see us in one-to-one therapy with any lower limb injury, be it hip, knee, foot and ankle, calf, I'm sure you've been given some glute exercises along the way. Okay, so glutes comprise of your glute med, min and max. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you know about your glute max, which is your big glute muscle. There's another two smaller muscles that tend to work together called your glute med and min, and they work in different ways. So your glute max is your big extensor of your hip, okay, and your glute min and med abduct the leg and rotate as well. Okay, so what we're going to go through first is your glute med and min activation. Okay, so these are very important muscles when it comes to stabilizing the pelvis. And lots of people, when they run, their hips tend to drop one side or the other. This again leads to injury, but also leads to your running being quite uneconomical. Okay, so firing these muscles up makes your running a lot more efficient and effective, and obviously would minimize the risk of injury. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do for your glute med and min. Okay, we're going to stand up and we're going to get onto a step. Okay, I'm just using my bottom stair at home with this one. So from this position, we're just hovering one leg over the step and we're keeping both knees nice and straight. We're keeping your pelvis nice and stable to begin with, and from there we just drop in that hovering leg down towards the floor. Okay, and then back up just to a neutral position. Okay, so we're going to drop down, so we're lengthening that leg, and then you're using your glute med and min on your opposite side then, just to bring you back up to neutral. Okay, so we're looking to do about 8 to 10 on each leg, times 2. Okay, and we call that your hip drop. Okay, so another good exercise for those muscles, this time including a band. I'm sure you've all got some bands at home. I'm going to pop this between your legs like so. Okay, again, I'll possibly go onto the bottom step. Okay, keeping your pelvis nice and stable again. From there, we're just taking your leg out to the side and back in. Okay, so obviously the colour of the band denotes the resistance. So normally the darker the colour, the more resistance. So you can start off light and then build up to a hard resistance band. Again, 10 times each leg, times 2. Nice and easy one there. Okay, so the third activation exercise for your glute med and min. We're going to get onto side lying. Get into side lying, I should say. Okay, so you're keeping your ankles together, you're keeping your knees together. Okay, and then relaxing your top half onto the floor. In this position now, all we're doing is we're rotating and we're lifting that leg up, keeping your heels together, and then back down. Okay, make sure you keep yourself stable here, so you're not rotating back and back in. Okay, so to make that exercise harder, using the band again, we pop the band just above our knees, and then we're just going to work against resistance a bit more. I will repeat that obviously on the other side as well. Okay, so those are the 3 exercises for your glute med and min. As I said, those muscles involve your abduction and your rotation as well. Okay, so your glute max, which is the muscle that I'm sure you're all familiar with, is your big muscle back here. Okay, so again, really important, is what we call, as part of what we call our posterior chain, and it's a muscle, and it's those muscles that tend to be quite weak with lots of runners, lots of cyclists as well. Okay, so the first exercise with this, we're going to get ourselves into prone lying. Okay, we're just going to bend one knee up, and we're going to squeeze our glutes. Okay, as we squeeze our glutes, we're just going to lift that leg up, so we're just hovering it above the floor. Okay, just to make sure that your glutes are firing, you can actually have just a little prod, just to make sure it's firing here and not all coming from your extensors of your back. And relax back. Okay, so we're coming back into this position. We're going to squeeze our glutes And we're just going to lift that leg ever so slightly off the floor. Lift it too much and then your back extensors are going to kick in and your hamstrings. Okay, second one for your glutes, for your glute max. Onto your back. Do what we call a supine position. Okay, and from there we're going to do a bridge. Okay, so we're going to roll our lower back against the floor, and we're just going to lift up. Okay, squeezing your glutes at the top, making sure you keep that nice stable pelvis again, and then back down. Okay, and again 2-3 sets of 10 of these. If you find that too easy, then a more difficult version is just to lift one leg up, and we're just going to push up using the one leg. But make sure you keep that pelvis stable. If you're rocking and rolling too much with your pelvis, you need to go back down and concentrate on your double leg. Okay, and then it's obviously exactly the same on the other side. And relax. Okay, so our third exercise for our glute max. Onto 4-point kneeling. Okay, nice stable position, arms just a bit below your shoulders. And in this position, we're just going to lift one leg up, get that squeeze in your glutes, and back down. Okay, so again, don't be too adventurous with your range of movement. If you do, your back extensors are going to kick in, and then back down. And we're going to repeat on the other side. Okay, so those are your 3 activation exercises for your glute med and min we did first. And then we've just done your 3 activation for your glute max. Okay, really good exercises to do before you go out for a run. So you're activating your posterior chain, just to get those ready and kind of firing up ready for your run or your cycle ride. Okay, so I'm going to go through just some 3 very easy, very simple strengthening exercises. Once you've fired up those glute muscles, then we can work on strengthening. Okay, if we don't fire them up first, then when we go to strengthen them, very often you compensate and you use your hamstrings, use your back muscles. Okay, so the first strengthening exercise we're going to do, we're going to use our band again. Okay, so we can pop the band just above our knees. Okay, so we're going to get into a bit of a semi-squat position. Okay, and then from there, we're keeping our pelvis stable, and we're just going to walk to the side. So a bit of side walking, side to side. Okay, again, use quite a strong resistance band for this one. This one's a bit too light. And very quickly, you'll start feeling a bit of a burning sensation in your glutes. Okay, second exercise. Okay, what we call the arabesque. Okay, so it involves kind of quite a bit of core stability and control, so it's not a fast exercise. So we're going to get yourself into this position. We're going to stand on one leg, okay, and then we're going to stretch out, and one leg comes behind us, and back down. Okay, and back down. Again, maybe work on 5 one side before repeating it on the other side. Okay, and then the third exercise, what we call a split squat. So you're getting yourself into a lunge position, okay? So make sure your pelvis is facing forwards, and then from there we're just going to drop that knee to the mat and back up. Okay, and then repetitions of that movement. Okay. To make this exercise a bit harder, what you could do is pop this foot up on something, just a small stool or a small step, okay? So the emphasis is a lot more on the front leg again, okay? And then we're going to do that again on both sides. Okay, as I said, guys, give them a go. Try a bit of activation work now before you do your next run or your next kind of turbo or bike session. See what you think.